This is Backdoor Boink, where we welcome every side of everyone. Please note, this is an 18-plus podcast. It's time to put in some earbuds if you don't want to answer awkward questions from your children, family, or friends. I'm Kayla, a certified relationship and intimacy coach.
And I'm MJ, and I brought the lube.
In this podcast, we explore the behind the scenes of a weekly wellness topic. Our goal is to help you feel good, be naughty. Thank you for checking out our After Dark, After Hours podcast. You can find more information, including our YouTube channel, social media accounts, events, Discord, and products at boinked.com. That's www.boink-ed.com. Now, let's get in that back door. Let's do this shit. What are you jotting notes down
I'm
for?
not.
What are you looking at? Oh, limericks.
I gotta pick one out.
Getting prepared.
Somebody has to be.
I heard that. Everybody heard that. We're rolling.
Okay. Oh, do you want me to give you shit? Why didn't you tell me you pushed the button?
I wasn't waiting for you to give me shit. I'm waiting for you for once to introduce the episode.
Oh, I'm introducing the episode?
You make me do all the hard work here.
Excuse you?
Is it hard?
No.
No, it's actually very soft and hanging to the left.
Maybe.
Because you're right-handed, so that's the way you tuck.
Sure.
That's how it goes. At least that's what I've been told.
Oh, okay.
Anyway, what are we talking about tonight?
I don't remember.
Of course you don't. Even though I just said it 3 seconds before I pressed the button. We are talking about...
Tell me and I'll tell them.
We're talking about consent in different social situations.
Oh, consent in different social situations.
Good job, honey.
Oh, yay. Hang on.
Pat yourself on the back.
I remembered.
You did.
Barely.
You didn't. It's okay.
I had no clue.
I'm just giving you kudos where they're not due. All right. So, how should we kick this off? This is something that's come up recently.
I don't know how to broach the subject.
Well, why don't we start with the norms?
Mm-hmm.
Let's start off with what people experience in their everyday.
Okay. People we interact with every day?
People...
Or fresh meat?
No. People we interact with every day. What your average human being, at least American human being, experiences on their day-to-day work or going and running errands, their social experiences, and what that might look like, and how that compares to the conduct expected in our worlds, in the kink and BDSM and poly and swinger worlds.
Do you see the look I'm giving you?
Yeah, I thought your neck hurt.
When do I interact in the social world?
Often. Strangers approach you often.
I know, it's so weird.
So fucking weird.
I sit there with an RBF and they come up and unload their life story on me.
Uh-huh.
That is not normal.
That is not normal for most people. Fair. But let's talk about the norm. What is the norm when you're interacting socially? What are some norms that to us might seem a little strange?
To us? As in?
To us as kinksters.
The hi, how are you hug or handshake.
Yeah.
I have a personal bubble to begin with.
Yeah. I would like to compare meeting a new kinkster for the first several times to protocols involved with COVID.
Yes.
Maintain your fucking distance. But we have grown up in a society where it is not uncommon to greet yourself and shake hands, to approach and put a hand on a shoulder, or a pat on the back, or even one of those like, hey, how are you, buddies? Friendly punches kind of thing.
Fist bumps. Yeah.
Any
sort.
sort.
Of it. I mean, I guess with a handshake or a fist bump, you can pull back, and that's a social cue that, no, I don't really want to do this. How do you stop somebody from just coming up and giving you a hug without taking your hands and pushing them away physically?
Absolutely. And part of that is an upbringing that was ingrained with us.
I've noticed certain people, and especially if I've met their family, know their family a little bit, I can tell their upbringing.
Explain.
As far as greeting people, hugging people, handshakes, you just get this sense that, well, grandma's a hugger, so mom's a hugger, so now I'm a hugger.
Yes. And even if you weren't a hugger as a child, it was go and give Pop a hug. Go give your cousin a hug. Or your cousin wants a hug, just go do it.
No.
I'm glad that a lot of what we're seeing is people moving away from that. That even as children, we are respecting their rights to their own body. With something as simple as hugs from even family members.
Even our little one. If she doesn't want a hug and a family member wants to give her a hug, well, we tell them too bad. When she's ready for a hug, she'll ask for one.
Yeah. And she's generally a loving, happy to give hugs kind of kid. If she's not in the mood for it, she's not in the mood. Give her space. Don't touch me right now. Still a human being, still a human body. But what is this in the workspace kind of stuff? Like, why? It's making me cringy.
I can see certain situations. Retirement parties, giving hugs, handshakes. But even still, that's an HR nightmare if you don't ask questions. I go through training every year. We have to renew our training.
Okay, tell me what that's like.
It is a long-ass, boring training.
No, tell me what they teach you about hugs and handshakes and stuff like that.
You want the long, drawn-out version or you want the simple version?
What's the simple version?
Don't fucking do it without permission. Ask first.
Really?
And if it's going to make somebody else in the room uncomfortable, don't do it.
Really? Even if it's not just the person you're interacting with?
Right. So if I were to give you a hug and somebody was standing in the corner and they didn't like it, nope. That's an HR concern.
I mean, HR in general, as I get older, is just kind of a cringy thing.
I kind of want to work for HR.
It's not about the people. It's not about helping the people in the business. It's helping the company from getting sued.
Yes.
It's just, blah.
Yeah.
And anyway, it's all a matter of perspective, but they painted it as this, human resources is here for you.
Yeah,
No.
maybe back in the day.
Maybe, but as with most things nowadays, it has become twisted.
Everything turns into their nightmare.
Gotcha. Well, that's good that HR is generally teaching that. Whether or not that has actually become the day-to-day case, especially in business settings. Can you imagine walking into a meeting or an interview and having the interviewer extend their hand for a handshake and you politely declining?
Oh, you're not getting the job.
You're not getting the job. There is a social pressure there. Even a financial pressure and obligation to give in. A coercion.
In a sense.
There's a social and financial coercion to give in to that physical contact.
In a sense.
Ew.
Carry a rubber glove in your pocket and pull it out and put it on.
No.
That'll creep them out.
It would. But again, still not going to get the job.
Yeah, probably not.
Yeah, probably not.
Still funny, though.
Now, many people, because of the way they have been raised and because of the way we've just naturally gone through society now, have just come to terms with this is just how it's done. So there is no stop and think about it anymore. Do I really want to shake this person's hand?
No, I just do.
I
just do to get it done with, get it over with, and be on my merry way.
Yeah.
And then I go to the bathroom and I scrub my hand. Because that's me.
Yeah. Understandable. For me, a handshake, I've learned to take it as an opportunity to assert a certain level of myself, especially when interacting with masculine presenting people. It is my opportunity to give a firm handshake. However, that being said, what the fuck does that say about me? It is not a friendly greeting to me.
No, it's not.
Is it supposed to be? I mean, when you shake another person's hand, what goes through your head?
Is it done yet? Seriously.
I've been in a lot of situations where I thought that.
I really don't think about it.
It's just a handshake.
No. I mean, look at how I grew up.
I mean, cis white man just is a natural thing for you.
In church every Sunday. And what do they do in church every Sunday?
Peace be with you.
Well, no.
Oh, Catholic.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Yeah. But we shake hands.
Yeah. In church, we had to turn around to people who were around us, shake hands, peace be with you, and also with you.
I had both sides. I had the Catholic and I had the Baptist.
Yep.
So, yeah, I get it. And that's why when people ask me, I'm Reformed Cactus.
You're a cactus. That's cute, because you're all prickly on the outside. And soft and smushy on the inside.
No, I wouldn't go that far.
Are cacti soft and squishy on the inside? I don't know.
I don't know.
I've never cut one open.
I'm not going to. I like cactus.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
You like cacti? Or
One-
you just like, or there's just one that you like?
There's just one that I like.
Oh, okay. Anyway, moving on.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's something I'm actually going to pose to the listeners.
Okay.
What is a handshake to them? Is it just second nature? Is it something that is easy for them to do? Because for me, it's really not.
You have to stop and think about it. I see that. If somebody extends a hand to me, chances are I'm just going to give them a handshake.
I stop and think about the position of my hand, the grip, the angle, because a certain angle will give you more pressure, and
I'll have to teach you.
I don't need teaching. I think my handshake's pretty good.
I've seen it.
But it became this thing I must have heard as a child where, oh, that's a good handshake. Yeah. And we all know how I struggle with gender. Fine. So anyway, if somebody were to approach me in a kink, BDSM, munch, swinger, lifestyle type setting, most of the time they will not extend a hand expectantly
No.
because it is a form of physical contact.
Generally, in those situations, if they are touching you without asking you, they're pulling you out of the way of getting hurt.
Ideally, yes, that would be the only time that would be okay.
Otherwise, they're going to ask.
Yeah.
Can I shake your hand? Can I give you a hug? Are you a huggy person?
I love that phrase. I think that's a really sweet way of making it easy to say no.
Mm-hmm.
As opposed to, can I give you a hug? Asks like you're about to reject a gift?
Yeah. Can I give you something?
Are you a huggy person?
Mm-hmm.
Is just asking about you. And it's a very nice way for you to be able to say, nope, just not my thing.
Not my thing. I'll shake your hand. I'll high five you, fist bump.
Yep. Or, nope, just not my thing.
Yeah, or not my thing.
Nice to meet you.
That's okay.
Yeah.
And in that community, those communities, that's okay.
Oh my gosh, it's so delightfully okay.
I mean, once in a while you get the one person that's like, oh, but
That's because they are a huggy person, and that's their way of showing that, hey, you seem like a cool person, or it was nice to have talked with you, whatever the case may be. And they just have to accept that that's not the language that you're willing to talk in. Physical touch.
ew.
Ew. Ew. The more I get into kink, the less it becomes about kink. You're giving me the weirdest look. But no, these concepts of consent in social situations, this concept of this bodily autonomy and respecting it, that's fucking huge. And I'm just like, why is this not the social standard?
Because it's not. Because we created that as a culture, as a society, and now we are trying to get away from it, especially since COVID.
Yeah. So if you find yourself in a munch style, BDSM style, kink style setting, asking before even a handshake, hey, you do handshakes? Not, hey, can I give you? But hey, you do handshakes? Hey, are you a huggy kind of person? That is the appropriate way to approach anyone. You should not be touching anyone without explicit consent unless, like you said, you're pulling somebody out of harm's way. Or away from doing harm.
Yeah, that too. Fine line.
Yeah, there's a fine line there. Pull the individual that could be harmed away. Deal with the, yeah. Anyway. So if this type of consent-based touch speaks to people, what are the alternatives in the BDSM and kink style spaces? Hey, I'm not down for hugs.
But you can spank me. Choke me. Were you not expecting that from me?
I was not. I was not at all. My brain was already processing some other options. Hopefully that part comes after some negotiation and getting to know the other person.
Oh, take all the fun out of it.
But hey, and it's entirely possible that you could be willing to have this person spank you, but not want them to hug you.
Yes, I've seen that.
I'm raising my hand and waving it over my head. Like, please, flog me, beat me, choke me, bite me.
Ask first.
Right? But do not fucking hug or pet me. Like,
No. Nope.
Don't come at me with that soft stuff. That's not what I'm here to make those kind of connections. No. I just did a full-on shoulder-to-ear cringe. No.
I think you have goosebumps.
Yeah, maybe I'll... Yeah. It says something different.
Mm-hmm.
So, meeting people in those sort of spaces, oh my gosh, you know what you can do? I know this one's going to be really hard for you. You can smile.
I usually just do the wave.
Yeah, you can wave. Just a hey.
Hi.
Little hey, out by the side, wave. Casual. I suppose you could bow. Can we make that a thing?
No.
Okay, a head nod?
That I do.
Yeah. A smile, nod, hey, how's it going? Absolutely. The nice thing is if you do a little wave, chances are you've occupied your hand enough that it's kind of clear you're not looking for that handshake. You're not looking for that physical contact. I have a question.
Okay.
How do you deal with it in the workspace?
They know I'm cuddly as a cactus.
Yeah, okay.
There's only one person in my workspace that's allowed to hug me. And it's only 3 times a year. My birthday, their birthday, and Christmas.
Oh, that's so kind of you.
Mm-hmm.
You are giving a gift by taking a hug.
They're as cuddly as I am, so it works out.
Okay.
You know.
No, I guess I worded that question wrong. Not how do you specifically handle it in the workspace.
Oh, how do other people handle
How
it?
should or how could others handle that? You know, now that they're sitting here thinking and the gears are turning like, hey, that's right. It's my body. I shouldn't have to put up with that hand on the shoulder while I'm trying to do my work.
No, thank you.
Ooh, I like that.
You can try politely brushing the hand away and saying no thank you
Yeah,
the first couple times.
yeah, I like that. Sadly, I have no workaround for the interview type setting. That's a tough one. That is social financial coercion. That's a cultural expectation that needs to be changed on more than just an individual basis, I think.
Yeah, now you got me stumped. I don't know at my place of employment if they even extend handshakes for interviews anymore.
Okay, listeners, has anybody been on an interview lately? Is this still a custom, or are we still stuck in, when's the last time you went for a job interview?
20 years ago.
I'm going on probably 15 or so, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So have they done away with it? Is this not something that we need to be concerned with? Or if it's still a common air quotes courtesy here, how do you address that without putting the potential job offer on the line? Because the last thing I want to do is say, suck it up, buttercup, because that's the exact phrase that got us in so many of the fucking predicaments that we're in nowadays. Talking about toxic masculinity, talking about, you know, men not being able to share their feelings, talking about pain management for women. I mean, all of these things boil down to suck it up, buttercup.
Don't get me wrong. There is a time and a place to suck it up. But
See, I think there's less about sucking it up and more about finding balance in your life. Finding safe places, finding the right words and the right ways of expressing certain things.
finding the right words with me is hard. So it's easier for me to just suck it up personally because I'm just going to tell you off.
Yes. And that has to do with being taught, suck it up, buttercup. And you suck it up and you suck it up until you
Become an old grumpy Gen Xer.
Exactly. We talked about it in the cycle of anger. You're bottling it all up until it releases. And that's how people end up also with panic disorders and everything else. Bottling it up, bottling things up.
No.
I have at least one ER visit that says otherwise. Did that just click? You're like, oh yeah, that shit happened.
Oh yeah, it did happen.
So I don't have a solution for this one.
Drop it in the comments. Let us know what your workaround is.
Seriously, short of pretending you don't see it and taking your seat, making sure that you have your hands full. A portfolio in one hand and a water in the other.
That works.
Water in one hand, portfolio. They extend their hands. Keep your eyes up and nice to meet you. I'm looking forward to this. Taking your seat. That's probably the only thing I've got.
Wait a minute.
What?
Were you just advising our listeners to drink water?
Fuck off. I drank a whole 3/4 of a bottle of water today.
Okay.
I think that's all I've had to drink.
So 16 ounces, that's good for you.
That's, yeah. I'm getting on the healthy train here eventually. It's fine.
Slowly.
It's fine. Everything's
It'll
fine.
derail.
Okay. I would really like to see more changes in the social expectations, I guess is what I'm saying.
Especially in the workplace.
Yes. Actually, you know what? We're talking only about physical touch. What about consent for any sort of interaction?
It can be revoked at any time.
Well, yes. So just because you shake somebody's hand once or they agree to give you a hug once does not mean that next time that's an open invitation. You should still ask.
Right.
Just because I let you have butt sex once does not mean that you're going to get it. It's an apt comparison. No, what I'm actually referring to is the unspoken, most times, consent to interact in any way, shape, or form, to carry on a conversation with somebody that approaches you in public. The weirdos at the grocery store who walk up to you and unload their life story.
I was thinking about that. If it wasn't for time, I think it's kind of amusing. Personally. But that's me, personally.
Right?
But for me, it's I let you hug me once, and then you don't ask the next time, and you try and slide in and side hug me.
Right. Somebody asks you, do you know where X product is? You tell them, and suddenly that means they're allowed to tell you about that time in 5th grade that some bully tripped them and, what?
This one time at band camp? Yeah, I don't care. I'm just trying to help you out.
Right. There is an expectation, especially, and I can only speak from my experience, but from a female presenting experience, somebody's going to start talking to you and you just go.
You just start doing the bobblehead.
Yup. You nod and you smile. And that may be the safest thing to do. But we've put this pressure on an idea of not being rude.
Right.
Don't hurt anyone's feelings. Don't be rude. That's disrespectful. Well, isn't it disrespectful of the person approaching you? It's inconsiderate of, in this case, your time. Yeah, my brain's just kind of going through the gears on this one.
I mean, I have some things I could bring up, but I don't want to hurt anybody's feelings.
You mean some particular instances where this was the case?
Yeah, and it revolves around your job, and it doesn't involve me. But I do know of some instances where you are discussing product with somebody, and then all of a sudden they're messaging you about this, that, and the other thing, which is okay to an extent, but schedule a consult?
Yes.
I consented to talk to you about XYZ.
Yep.
Now we're going on to
ABC.
ABC. Okay, great. Can I set you up an appointment? Because this is my business.
That is true. There is a very...
And because of the type of business it is.
Yes.
And it's hard. It's hard to say no.
I think my circumstance is very unique. And this is not at all where I expected this topic to go, but
No.
My circumstance is very unique because I am open to talking about things that are A, important, and B, are not always easily accessible to talk about.
They're taboo in a lot of situations to a lot of people.
I don't want to talk about these things with my friend because what if they think I'm a freak? There's a lot of shame and a lot of self-doubt that comes with the things that I am happy to embrace people for and talk with them about. That being said, it's part of my work.
It is.
If you catch me at a vendor event, absolutely, I'm on the clock. I am working. But then to have people message me directly looking for advice, not shopping advice. Shopping advice is free because ideally you're going to buy the product from me. Yay. But other types of advice, relationships and what have you, yeah, that does feel a little disheartening to me. It feels a little disrespectful to the work that I try to accomplish, but I still fucking do it.
You do.
Because I don't want to be rude and I'm passionate about what I do. I do truly want to help people.
But here we go back to it's a matter of consent.
Yeah. Here we go back to, I said, this fear of being rude.
Right. Now, my thought is suck it up. You're a freak. Come sit with us. We'll talk about it all day long. Come to a munch. We can talk about it.
Yeah. I guess a time and a place. It's about balance. It doesn't mean that you get to invade my personal life and my personal time, I suppose.
That being said, you're not the only one that this happens to. I get messages as well.
For business-related?
Business-related stuff.
Really?
Yeah, I do.
Look at you.
Not as often.
Secure confidentiality and all that.
But it happens.
It does. And you're in the same boat. I can see you making the face.
I am.
Like you want to help.
I want to help. I generally want to help. Just like I want to give you the hug that you're asking for, but inside I'm cringing because I don't want to hurt your feelings.
So are we saying that consent to conversations or physical touch in social settings is a choose your battle situation?
I think to an extent.
Ooh, I don't like that.
I don't either. But you also don't want to come across as...
What, rude for respecting your own bodily needs and boundaries? And why is that rude?
Well, I guess I don't care, but some people do. I guess it's all how you word saying no thank you. I mean, a simple no thank you should suffice.
Should suffice.
We all know there's at least one in every crowd who does not understand no. I don't know if it's the N or the O, but they just don't understand it.
My grandfather pulled that on me one time. What part of no don't you understand? Gentleman said, is it N-O or K-N-O-W?
Smart ass.
Brat from the get-go. Yeah, I didn't mean to turn this on to consent about interacting with me about business-related stuff. I just mean in general, people approaching you and trying to engage in conversations. So even in like play party situations, you can wear some sort of bracelet or necklace, usually like beads of some kind, and the colors indicate what level of interaction is acceptable to you.
How far are you willing to go tonight?
Yeah.
Do you just want to sit in the corner and chat and socialize, or are you feeling like maybe...
You feeling like you don't want to interact with anybody other than your known circle? You don't wear any beads.
Right.
You're okay to be approached. Wear one color. These sorts of things are common. We don't have those blatant signals in society, and we also don't have people that can read...
The hanky code?
No. Which we should do. Write that down. Write it down. But no, just the other social cues. The person that approaches you in the supermarket and starts to talk to you, and you keep looking away, or you shift your weight back and forth.
Or I start to back away slowly.
They're not picking up on these things. No. It should be acceptable for you to say, excuse me, I have to go. It should be acceptable for you to just say stop or no.
Should be.
It should be. And I wish I could say that it was. And I'm just sitting here thinking, what are the risks? The best outcome is they say, oh, okay, have a nice day. Sorry I took up some of your time. Have a nice day.
The best outcome.
That's the best outcome. That would be an awesome... That would be, hey, you've been to a munch. Where are you going? Wait, now we can talk.
Yeah.
You know? Yeah. But the medium outcome is, wow, what the fuck's your problem? All right, screw you. And they walk away.
Now, we'll take it to my situation. Generally, it's the little old man or the little old lady. Who's to say I'm not going to be the only one they talk to that day, that week? So that's where I cave and let it go.
But that's a conscious decision that you're making, too.
To an extent, I'm caving. I'm saying, okay, have at.
In that case, I feel you are balancing your needs against the needs of somebody else. And that's, in that case, it comes down less to a comfort level decision and more down to a human courtesy need decision, which I think is a little different.
By standing there, I'm consenting. I could just walk away.
Yeah, I suppose that's an option. As opposed to, excuse me. I mean, we're trying to look for the most polite way of removing ourselves from these situations. But yeah, ultimately, you could just walk away. But there are instances where walking away or saying, excuse me, I've got to go, or saying no can put people at risk. Yeah. And that's a sad fact of things.
I think we covered that topic, or covered that in one of our previous episodes, how saying no can put certain demographics at risk.
Yeah. Yeah. I don't know. This got darker than I wanted it to.
Well,
I wanted to just simply shine some light on what people could expect in kink and BDSM settings.
Well, I don't have an outline, so I just derailed.
Yeah,
Sorry.
no, we both did. We both did. And I keep pausing because gears turning and now my brain is on this, well, what the fuck is wrong with the world? There's so much. There's so much. But the nice thing is that we have individuals like those in the communities that we work in who are looking to educate and who are looking to share transparent, effective communication, enthusiastic, informed consent. So hopefully we see more of that. And maybe by sharing this weirdy podcast, we're bringing some awareness to it.
Oh, it's weird tonight.
Yeah. And you know what? Maybe this is just a podcast where we're not coming in with advice so much as we're coming in with a, hey, what about this? This is something to think about. This is something to walk away with and
Food for thought.
this is a food for thought episode. I'm okay with that.
Okay.
We're not supposed to have all the answers.
No.
Actually, as a relationship coach, it's not my job to give answers. It's to help guide people to finding their own.
Here's the tools.
Here's the tools.
Go build your house.
Exactly.
Or tear it down. Whatever you want.
Whatever you want. Here's how you lay a strong foundation. If it fucks up along the way, that sort of thing. Yeah. So I think I'm okay with a food for thought episode.
And let's be honest here. I'm not a relationship coach.
You're not. You're a grumpy old man. And comic relief.
And comic relief.
Yes.
Come see me. We'll do some guided meditation, some Reiki, and,
Yeah, I could totally go for some Reiki. You want to go do that?
we could do that.
All right, cool. Well, drop a limerick and we'll go do some Reiki.
Well, I'd like to find a good limerick that matched what we were talking about, but I just couldn't find one.
I don't know how you find a... No, because any limerick you find about consent is not going to be about consent. So...
Giving or receiving? Yes?
Yeah, exactly. So just any limerick will do here, sweetie.
Okay, so I found a bunch of limericks. I printed them off. I haven't read them. I'm just going to pick one at random.
Are you going to blindly point? Close your eyes and point. Let's see. What'd you get?
The talk by an old guy called Doring was totally numbingly boring. So I just copied James and obliged the dames while dreaming of drinking and whoring.
I like this. I think we need to make a board of limericks that you can essentially do a pin the tail on a donkey thing. Or we could make a bucket and you just pull them out.
We could do that.
Yes, but we can't pre-read them.
I think you need to pre-read some of them. Some of the ones I find are pretty... Okay, fine, we don't have to pre-read them. We'll just be as surprised as
everybody else.
Yeah.
And that way we cannot be fully responsible for whatever the fuck comes out of your face because it came from the internet and that can be a very dark space. All right. Ready to call it?
What are we calling it?
A night?
Oh, thank God. Good night.
Thank you so much for listening. Sorry we didn't have so much advice this time, but again, more food for thought. If you have anything that you can add to this episode, any ideas on how to approach these situations, or if you can tell us what the fuck an interview is like nowadays, please drop it in the comments. We'll be back next week. In the meantime, stay you, stay beautiful, feel good, be naughty. Good night.
You can spank me.
Thanks again for listening to this podcast. I started Boink in 2022 with the goal to create a safe environment and culture for all genders and sexual orientations, to learn about and embrace every part of themselves and one another. We offer workshops, events, and various inclusive products, along with consultations to make sure we take a holistic approach to enhancing individuals' sexual satisfaction with themselves or their partners. I believe that when you accept yourself and your partner on the most intimate of levels, it filters out into your daily life. The World Health Organization recognizes this, saying sexual health is fundamental to the overall health and well-being of individuals, couples, and families, and to the social and economic development of communities and countries. So as long as you'll have us, Boink will be here. Kink-affirming, gender-blurring, sex-fulfilling. And you can find any of our details at www.boink-ed.com.